Hey YouTubers, Grimmy Dragon here, and once again it's review time, and today we are taking a look at Takara's Transformers Legends Targetmaster Hot Rod with Firebolt. Yeah, they released the Japanese version of Hot Rod last year, and we got a very nice looking one, and he got his Targetmaster as well, something that the US version didn't come with. And that's always a nice feature. So let's take a look at Firebolt first. Since he's right here on the engine, he does have a spot on there since they remolded the hood. As you can see, he's a nice looking little gun. It has a slot on the bottom for another gun if you want, which is nice. But you got a nice looking gun, translucent plastic on the top, and some translucent plastic and gray plastic along the body, mostly just gray, and it's painted silver, which is nice. And looking at it with, well, first the Master Shooter Collectibles version, of course G1, and just for fun, Fans Project Sidearm. So yeah, lots of choices with the Hot Rod. He gets a lot of them. But yeah, this is one of the better ones. And he's easy to transform. Just flip out the legs, rotate them, rotate the waist, which rotates the head, and flip the gun barrel down. And yeah, he's a nice looking little Targetmaster. He's more of a gunmetal than a black. And it's a nice little, it looks good. Looks good. Unfortunately for me, the chest piece doesn't seem to go in all the way. Kind of sticks out on one side, which is unfortunate, but I can live with it. And articulation wise, he's got ball jointed shoulders, hinged hips, ball jointed knees. That's about it. That's all he needs. So, just for fun, let's bring in the other guys. Like Sidearm, G1, and Master Shooter Collectibles. So as you can see, he's got a lot to compare to. He's quite different than everybody else. He doesn't have the red face, and he's more of a gunmetal color than a black. So he stands out quite a bit among his peers. But anyway, that's enough about Firebolt. Let's get to Hot Rod himself. So, yeah, he is that nice classic futuristic car with the nice silver smokestacks on the side. Got the spoiler. Nice little orange bit in the middle. I like that. And of course he's got his classic flame detail, which is done up in a translucent plastic with orange and maroon paint. And there is a bit of a flaw here because the headlights have a translucent bit at the end where the rest is painted yellow. I wish this was painted yellow as well. It would make the whole thing flow better together. But it is what it is. I like how the Autobot symbol is tempoed on there. And it stands out quite a bit more than the Hasbro version, which we'll get to later. Also like the painted rims. Always love painted hubcaps. So, yeah, speaking of the US version, let's bring that in because you can tell a lot of differences. The red is darker. The orange, I think, is a little darker. And the yellow is a bit deeper, too. So, plenty of differences there. And, of course, Hasbro does not paint the hubcaps, which is sad. And the exhaust ports are not painted as well. Again, sad. But I think it's time we looked at the Headmaster. And yes, this is Takara, so it's a Headmaster, not a Titan Master. As you can see, he's a nice, well-painted figure. Get a better look. And yeah, well-painted. He's got an orange bit of paint on his chest to represent Hot Rod's chest. Nice painted blue visor. And a little bit of gray on the face. Really helps him stand out. As well as the arms and shins, which are black. And he's a standout character, which is good. Now let's compare him to Hasbro's version. Yeah, here it is. Hasbro's Firebolt, which is the Titan Master. And quite a difference between the two. I mean, completely unpainted gray guy versus well-painted Headmaster. Yeah, I like this one better. And even the faces are different enough. This one has a lot more detail to it. So yeah, Takara wins out pretty easily on this one. Now before we get to robot mode, let's bring in some other comparisons. Just two more. We'll bring in the Classics 2006 Hot Rod, or Rodimus actually. You can see quite a difference. This one has a lot of flame paint naps on them. And has a bit of a different design too. A lot more updated. I like that, but yeah, this one still looks a little bit better. And yes, the Autobot symbol on this one's hood is a repro label. It didn't have any symbols on it originally, which was a shame. And of course, we gotta bring in the G1 version. And yeah, very close to it. Not perfect, but good enough. And I like the updates. It really does feel right. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to start doing something I don't normally do, and that's transform on camera. So let's get to it. And Hot Rod's not very hard to transform. You just want to lift this up. That'll get some clearance. Pull out the arms. And then you can just flip out the legs. So, fold up the feet. Fold the rear wheels in. And rotate everything around. Lift this up. Rotate it around. Bring that down in a sec. Flip down the chest. And here's what's different from the Hasbro version. You flip this part in and just flip it like so. Or the Hasbro version, what you flip a part of the bottom piece in. Now, get these loose and then flip out the hands. And then flip up the back piece. He's looking pretty good. And last but not least, we get everything in view. Hopefully everything was in view when I transformed this. I'll have to look. And then we attach the Headmaster. And yeah, before I forget, he just flips closed. And then you just Pop them in, and you're done. And he's looking quite nice. Now, Hot Rod does look really good in this mode. I do like him. He still has the problem where the spoiler is a little bit too low to really work, which is a shame because it's a well painted spoiler and I do like it on him, but I still wish it was a little bit higher up. But that's just how I feel about it. The rest of the detail looks great. I mean, he does look just like Hot Rod should. Even has the black feet, which is so rare to see on a Hasbro Hot Rod. And I'm really glad that Takara remembers to keep that detail intact. I also like the way the chest came out. That translucent bit does work out quite nicely. He looks really good, and if you get the light in the right place, it will help the chest piece shine a bit. Although, yeah, getting it in the right place might be tricky. Still, it stands out so well, and I like that. Details like the arms, they feel like Hot Rod. They're pretty accurate. I like the details on the wrists. That's pretty nice. And all in all, the detail is pretty good. Like I said, the head sculpt is very well painted. You got the details on the head crest. The face and eyes look good. Yeah, all in all, the paint is great. Now for articulation, he does have ball jointed shoulders, obviously a ball jointed head because of the Titanmaster, or Headmaster, whatever you want to call it. Bicep swivel, 90-degree at the elbow, waist rotation, ball jointed hips, got thigh swivel, almost 90 at the knee. And that's about it. So plenty of articulation, looks good. He can get into a lot of nice poses. As we know, his only accessory is his Targetmaster, which fits in his hand perfectly and looks good like that. It's another thing that previous versions of Firebolt had problem with, actually looking good in Hot Rod's hands. So let's get some comparisons in. So first we got the Hasbro release. The brighter red, the red chins, and you know, that little cutout in the middle make him look a lot different. And honestly, I do prefer the Takara version. I also like how the chest piece on the Takara version stands out more than on the Hasbro version. I'm sure I mentioned that already, but it's worth repeating. So yeah, I do like Takara's version better than Hasbro's. So let's bring in the Classics, who was a very different take on Hot Rod, or Rodimus. And he works out fairly well. I mean, they did try to give him the black feet, which I like. But he is very dark, didn't really have a lot going for the chest plate, which was sad, but it was a good Hot Rod. And last but not least, we gotta do the G1. So as you can see, a lot closer to what we got for Takara's, but not perfect. And as you can see, the Targetmaster kind of looks a little funky in his hand too. I mean, you can tell that it's not as accurate, not as like gun-like as the new Takara version. So yeah, the Targetmaster is very well improved, and I do dig that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. It's a really good Hot Rod, worth checking out. I got them at TF Source. You can find them at Big Bad Toy Store, I don't know what Hobby Link Japan has, if they have any left, or AmiAmi. Although, if you're going to get them there, you're going to want to buy bulk. Get some other figures because they do have large amounts of shipping, big shipping fees. So, better make it count. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and let me know what you think. And of course, subscribe to see more videos. And I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye out there, whatever you are.